Hey guys, so the one thing I'll tell you is if you have green stuff draining from your scrotum, this is not normal, okay? And it needs medical attention. Let's talk about what this could be. Stay tuned. Hey guys, Dr. Segal here. So the question is, yuck, my scrotum is draining green stuff. What could this be? Okay. And at the end, I'll talk to you about why this actually might be a good thing. So stay tuned till the end to get that tidbit of information. So we consider this to be an abscess until proven otherwise. All right. So what's happening is that you're likely getting an infection of the scrotum or the wall of the scrotum. Okay. And as that infection sort of smolders or develops over time, it generates infected material. And that infected material usually won't smell very good, number one. And number two, it'll look brown or greenish. All right. So that's what this is, an abscess of the scrotum. So abscesses of the scrotum are much more common in diabetics, okay, for what it's worth. So be cognizant of that if you have a history of diabetes. How do we fix this? Okay, so we need to get that infected fluid out. So sometimes we have to make a small incision in the scrotum. We numb up the area for sure, don't worry. And then we get that infected fluid out by usually putting in a small drain or a little window, a little opening in the scrotum to get that infected fluid out. And sometimes we'll put what's called packing in there to help pull out that infected fluid and change that packing over time. Certainly, we need to get the infected fluid out, but also we need to treat the infection with antibiotics. So, getting the fluid out, number one, and also at the same time giving you antibiotics, oftentimes with coverage of a bacteria called MRSA. Okay, so a medication like Bactrim, you may or may not have heard of. By mouth is given for this type of infection, but there's a lot of different antibiotics that we give for it. Why is it super important if you notice the green stuff draining out of the scrotum that you see somebody ASAP, even go to the emergency room? It's because that infected fluid, so it can get into the bloodstream, and that's a huge problem, right? It can cause an infection in your bloodstream and make you very, very, very sick. So if you notice it, then you should either go immediately to the urologist, the PCP, or the emergency room to get evaluated. All right. For sure, we've seen cases of necrotizing fasciitis or something called Fournier's gangrene, which is infected fluid in the scrotum that's progressing into a skin infection that is certainly a life-threatening circumstance. So don't wait. If you see it, don't wait. Go to the emergency room, get evaluated. All right. And this is the kind of the pearl of wisdom for why I want you guys to know that if you see this drainage, it may be a good thing. So the principles of therapy, as I mentioned, for any infection are to drain it and also give antibiotics. If you notice this fluid already coming out, then you're already draining, which is a good thing. You should certainly still go to the emergency room to get evaluated, but it's good that that infected fluid's getting out. Sometimes that infected fluid will just collect and collect and collect in there and become painful, but it doesn't have an out. So the fact that it's draining, you're already a little bit ahead of the game as compared to somebody who has it all kind of stuck in the scrotum. Nevertheless, you still need a proper drainage and antibiotics, but if it's already draining, that may actually be a good thing. So thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully that gives you some information about abscesses of the scrotum, what to do, meaning get medical attention ASAP so it can be fixed. Thank you for listening. We certainly appreciate it. Please subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. Thanks again, guys.